The Mandalorian Season 3 is coming our way in a little under a month's time. Din Djarin and Grogu are ready to continue their adventure as they head to Mandalore to reunite the Mandalorian clans. One of the most fun aspects of The Mandalorian Season 2 was the variety of cameos which Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau brought us. We saw the return of fan favorites like Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker, on top of the live-action debuts of animated characters like Bo-Katan Kryze, Ahsoka Tano, and later Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett. Surely we are in for even more surprise cameos in The Mandalorian Season 3, with Filoni and Favreau teasing a far bigger scope come the premiere on March 1st. No, The Mandalorian Season 3 doesn't need cameos to be good, the plot alone looks promising enough, but it's just a topic that's so much fun to speculate about. With that in mind, here are our picks for the top 10 surprise cameos we could see in The Mandalorian Season 3. Number 10, Sabine Wren. Story-wise, this one makes complete sense. Sabine was the one that gifted the Darksaber to Bo-Katan in Star Wars Rebels, before she ultimately led her people to near extinction on the Night of 1,000 Tears. From the way The Mandalorian Season 2 ended, teasing tension between Din and Bo-Katan, not to mention the trailers we've already seen, we know that Bo-Katan's ambition to win back the Darksaber will play a major role in Season 3. We also know that we are going to see a lot of Mandalorians during the season, and with Dave Filoni slowly bringing more of the animated characters he created into the show, it just adds up. We also know that Natasha Leo Bordizzo has been cast as Sabine for the upcoming Ahsoka series, which will be the next live-action Star Wars show to begin streaming after The Mandalorian Season 3. It seems like a logical choice for Sabine to be introduced into the Mandoverse during The Mandalorian Season 3, both plot-wise and in order to build more hype for Ahsoka. Some fans have even been pointing at a particular Mandalorian seen in the trailers already, although it's unlikely this is Sabine, as Lucasfilm would probably save this for a surprise. Speaking of Ahsoka, she comes in at our number 9 pick to appear in The Mandalorian Season 3. Ahsoka made her highly anticipated live-action debut in The Mandalorian Season 2 and also graced our screens in the Book of Boba Fett. Her Mandalorian Season 2 episode may go down as one of the most important of the entire series, as it's the first name drop of Grand Admiral Thrawn, aka the villain the Mandoverse is building up to. Ahsoka is searching for Thrawn in hopes of finding the lost Jedi Padawan Ezra Bridger, the two of them having been pulled into the great unknown at the conclusion of Rebels. It would be likely that we would see Ahsoka alongside Sabine, the pair preparing for their story come Ahsoka. Tano also has experience on the planet Mandalore, having fought alongside Bo-Katan, another big player in our story, during the Siege of Mandalore at the conclusion of the Clone Wars. Number 8, Grand Admiral Thrawn. He truly is the Thanos of the Mandoverse, the big bad that this is all leading up to. While the trailers seem to be painting Bo-Katan as Din's big adversary this season, the real enemy will likely again be Moff Gideon or someone along those lines. But what the Mandoverse shows, The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, Rangers of the New Republic, Ghost Track 17, and whatever else is coming, are building towards is Grand Admiral Thrawn. The Chiss could easily tease what's to come in a post-credit scene similar to Thanos in the MCU. Remember the whole smile at the end of the first Avengers, or the fine I'll do it myself in Age of Ultron, all years before he actually showed up in Infinity War? Something along those lines. Don't expect Thrawn to do much more than that, with his larger role likely to begin in Ahsoka. Number 7, Snoke. Another big bad who could make a small appearance in The Mandalorian Season 3 is the future Supreme Leader of the First Order, Snoke. In The Mandalorian Season 2, we learned that Moff Gideon and the Imperial remnants were after Grogu to study his Force-sensitive blood. This, of course, was to clone Palpatine, and before that, create Snoke. We even saw an early attempt on Navarro during Season 2. Adding fuel to this is the fact that we've had leaks confirming Praetorian guards will appear in Season 3, those of course being Snoke's throne room guards in The Last Jedi. Andy Serkis recently returned to Star Wars as Kino Loyan Andor, and there were several rumors floating around that Serkis also did some motion capture work for Star Wars right around the time of Mando Season 3's filming. Dave Filoni has previously stated that The Mandalorian would show the origins of the First Order. Will that begin in The Mandalorian Season 3? Number 6, Nala Se, or other Kaminoans. So who exactly is going to be using Grogu's blood for the cloning attempts? There are no better cloners in the galaxy than the Kaminoans. We've already met Dr. Pershing, and we know he's set to return in Season 3. We also know that the patch on his uniform is very similar to that of a Kaminoan's. Could a Kaminoan, say Nala Se from the Bad Batch, be meeting Pershing on Coruscant in that one trailer shot? Nala Se was a lead Kaminoan scientist who the Empire took from Kamino before its destruction during the Bad Batch Season 1's finale. They bring her to a secret cloning facility on Mount Tantus, where a human scientist informs her that the Empire has big plans for her. The Bad Batch Season 2 is currently streaming and will overlap with the first half of The Mandalorian Season 3. Number 5. Boba Fett and Company. The last Mandoverse show to hit Disney Plus was the Book of Boba Fett towards the end of 2021, which almost acted as a Mandalorian Season 2.5. It would be shocking if The Mandalorian Season 3 didn't follow up with where it all left off on Tatooine, given that there's been no formal announcement of the Book of Boba Fett Season 2. From the trailer alone, we can tell that Din Djarin is heading back to Pelimoto's hangar on Tatooine. Maybe while his ship is being worked on, he heads to check up on the new daimyo of Mos Espa, along with Fennec Shand, Chrysanthemum, and the rest of his crew. Perhaps Mando needs some extra muscle for his trip to Mandalore, and Boba is willing to provide just that. Cobb Vanth is another character currently at Boba's palace, recovering from his shootout with Cad Bane. Bane is another villain who could appear, with many theorizing that he survived his tango with Fett at the show's finale. Number 4. Luke Skywalker. Another surprise cameo in the Book of Boba Fett was once again Luke Skywalker training the young Grogu in the ways of the Force before sending him back to be with the Mandalorian. It's clear Grogu isn't done mastering the Force, and as Luke said, it's the only way he'll ever truly be safe. Could Din Djarin take Grogu back to Luke for some additional training or advice? Only time will tell, but surely Grogu will not completely forego becoming a trained Force user. Number 3, Ben Solo. Another one of Luke's first students at his Jedi Academy, which was being constructed the last time we saw him, is Ben Solo, Luke's nephew and the son of Han and Leia, also the future Kylo Ren. If we do venture back to Luke's temple, perhaps he's now taken young Ben as his proper Jedi Padawan. If Ben is there, we also can't rule out an appearance from Han, Leia, Chewbacca, Lando, and the droids, especially considering how the franchise has been implementing AI deepfake technology as of late. Alden Ehrenreich in particular has also expressed his interest in reprising the role of Solo, with that Lando series starring Donald Glover still apparently slated to happen at some point. Out of all of those mentioned, Ben Solo seems the most likely. It's doubtful that Disney would leave Grogu to be slaughtered at Luke's Jedi Temple, but the two meeting would be pretty awesome. Number 2, Mon Mothma. Genevieve O'Reilly recently returned to her role in Andor. By the time of The Mandalorian, Mon Mothma is actually the Chancellor of the New Republic, which emerged from the rebellion at the conclusion of the Galactic Civil War. Mothma pushes for a military disarmament act, which aimed to greatly decrease the size of the Republic's military forces, leaving them vulnerable. Making Star Wars has also reported that Mothma will be brought into the story in a cameo role in response to the emergence of Thrawn as the new big bad of the Mandoverse. Many have speculated that the shot of Carson Teva in the Season 3 trailer is actually him speaking to Mothma regarding Thrawn. Including Mon Mothma in these upcoming events would be a fantastic move and would help make all of these recent Disney Plus stories feel even more connected than they already do now. Number 1, Anakin Skywalker. Yes, Darth Vader is very much dead at this point in the Star Wars timeline, but this cameo will likely come in the form of a flashback scene. During the trailer, we get a shot which appears to be continuing Grogu's Order 66 flashback from the Book of Boba Fett. There are Jedi preparing to defend Grogu as a lightsaber slowly cuts through the door. Are we about to see the newly christened Darth Vader cut down those Jedi, which many believe were the ones shown on that security recording back in Revenge of the Sith? Anakin would then come face to face with Grogu, finally presenting the opportunity to answer one of the biggest questions surrounding the young Jedi's past. How did he survive Order 66? Is Anakin going to spare him and let him go? Will he take Grogu in to be experimented on? Is someone else going to jump in and save Grogu, like a Mace Windu? Okay, now we're getting a little far-fetched. But what's not far-fetched is Anakin appearing in this season. I mean, with Hayden Christensen having appeared in similar scenes during Obi-Wan Kenobi, and apparently a lock for the Ahsoka series in his Episode 3 costume, he could have easily filmed a quick little 1 or 2 minute cameo, right? What do you think? Who do you most want to see make a surprise cameo in The Mandalorian Season 3? Let us know in the comments below. If you did enjoy, make sure to click the like button and subscribe if you are new to join the Red Squadron. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you. Red 5, standing by.